Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Friday, May 12, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Atlanta Braves vs Toronto Blue Jays. A loss to the Red Sox wasn't how the Braves wanted to depart their home park, but that's where things stand entering the weekend. Atlanta can at least take solace in their active string of 15 games without consecutive losses. The Braves are 11-4 in that stretch, as they've raced out to the NL's top record and run differential this season. An offense that's fifth in runs per game is leading the charge, carried by the third most home runs in the league. The top four batters in Atlanta's everyday lineup have combined for 33 homers and 101 RBIs already. Ozzie Albies has added 9 long balls of his own. Atlanta is also 6th in walk rate and 27-31, 87.1%, stealing bases. There isn't much that the Braves' position players aren't doing well. I am taking the Atlanta Braves over the Toronto Blue Jays in this one. The Braves currently sit atop the National League at 25-12 and are particularly hot as of late, having won 6 of their last 8 games. Atlanta's lineup has been consistently strong all season long, but has been even better during this hot streak, pushing over 6 runs per game across the plate. The Braves lead the NL in run differential for a reason and should continue to impose their will on Toronto. With a top young pitcher in Spencer Strider on the mound, the Braves will have ample opportunities to win this one. The Blue Jays are a good team but have been faltering lately, and with Chris Bassett not in top form at the moment, it will be a tall task to pull this one out over Atlanta. Take the Braves with the money line. I've got the over here. The Braves lineup is just too good at the moment, with such big bats like Ronald Acuna, Matt Olson, Ozzie Albies, and Sean Murphy carrying the load. With Bassett not at the top of his game to start the year, Atlanta's lineup, which has averaged about 5.5 runs per game all season and even more recently, should be able to put up enough runs in this one. Despite their recent slide, losing 7 of 10 games, the Blue Jays lineup hasn't been the problem, as they have actually scored slightly more runs per game during this stretch than they have on the season as a whole. With a number of their own top bats excelling this season, the over should be attainable, despite the Braves starting a good young pitcher in Spencer Strider. Our total pick over 8.5 runs. Los Angeles Angels vs Cleveland Guardians. Los Angeles limps into this one, losers of 4 of their previous 5 games after falling short in the rubber game of their home series with the Astros Wednesday. The Angels entered Thursday 2018 on the season and stood second in the AL West, 3 games behind the Rangers for the top spot in the division. On Wednesday, Anthony Rendon, run, and Hunter Renfroe, run, 2 RBI, each had 2 hits for Los Angeles, though it failed to be enough to deliver a win. Renfroe, his 10th, and Shohei Ohtani, his 8th, each homered in a losing effort for the Angels. Griffin Canning, 2-1, took the loss on the mound as he allowed 5 runs on 5 hits, with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts over 3.2 innings. The rough start overshadowed 5.1 scoreless innings of relief from the Angels' bullpen. Tyler Anderson is on the hill for the Angels as he records his 7th start of the season after coming over from the Dodgers in the offseason. He is 1-0 with a 5.40 ERA, a 1.642 whip, 16 walks and 24 strikeouts over 31.2 innings of work this season. Anderson didn't factor in the decision in his last start, which came last Friday against the Rangers at home. He threw 5 innings, allowing 3 runs on 5 hits with 5 walks and 6 strikeouts in a game the Angels rallied to win 5-4 in 10 innings. In his last 3 starts, Anderson has no record, a 4.24 ERA, a 1.47 whip, 8 walks and 14 strikeouts over 17 innings of work. In his 154th career Major League appearance and 148th Major League start, Anderson faces the Guardians for the first time in this contest. As a result, this marks his first career outing at Progressive Field. Anderson hasn't looked anything like the pitcher he was with the Dodgers a season ago. After posting a 15-5 record with a 2.57 ERA, a 1.002 whip, 34 walks and 138 punchouts in 178.2 innings of work, he's already issued 21 free passes this year. He allowed only 14 home runs last season, but has surrendered 6 already this season, and despite his lousy numbers, his FIP ERA shows that he's actually been fortunate, as that number comes in at 6.06 this season. Allen is still adjusting to the majors, but has acquitted himself fairly well in his first 3 big league starts. The Angels have the edge offensively, but it's tough to have a ton of faith in a team that has terrible pitching, as we've seen on a regular basis this season. Take the Guardians at home as they take the opening game of this series, thanks to another solid outing from Allen. As mentioned, the Angels have had difficulty hitting at Progressive Field recently, hitting under .200 as a team in the last 3 games there. Cleveland ranks low in several key offensive categories, including 29th in runs scored per game overall, 3.54, and is averaging only 2.69 runs per game at home. They rank dead last in home runs per game, so the odds of them scoring in bunches quickly are low. Los Angeles scores over a run less per game on the road than they do at Angel Stadium of Anaheim this season. The Guardians have pushed or gone under the point total in 10 straight games overall and 9 straight at home. The Guardians have scored 3 runs or less in 10 straight games and 6 straight at home. Most signs and stats point to a lower scoring affair between these two teams on Friday. Take the under 9 runs. St. Louis Cardinals vs. Boston Red Sox. The St. Louis Cardinals may have won 3 of 4 games against the Chicago Cubs and Detroit Tigers in their 2 series, but with struggles for consistency all over the board this season, they are dead last in the National League, a place few expected this team to be when the 2023 season kicked off. The Boston Red Sox were flying well below the radar heading into the 2023 season, but with a red-hot streak in recent times, they're proven that they are up for the AL East Challenge this year, so beating teams like St. Louis is exactly what they need to do to keep rolling. Boston has won 9 of its last 11 after starting the season very slow. At one point early in the season, Boston was last in the American League East, but has improved to 3rd place. The Red Sox have won 19 of the last 26 at home. St. Louis has struggled on the mound this season, and the Cardinals have lost 7 of the last 10 on the road and 12 of the last 16 overall. In the only appearance of the season for Adam Wainwright after coming off the injury list, the St. Louis right-hander gave up 8 hits and 4 runs in 5 innings, and the Cardinals lost to the Detroit Tigers last Saturday. Boston starter James Paxton has only 1 appearance this season, allowing 1 run in 1 innings before being taken out after suffering an injury on April 6. Our team pick is Boston Red Sox. While the over sitting at 10 may seem like a lot, the biggest strength for both of these ball clubs is their talented lineups which perform when matched against each other, with the over sitting at 4-1-1 in their past 6 meetings in Boston, as well as being 6-1 in their past 7 head-to-head meetings. For the Cardinals, the over sits at 7-1 in their past 8 games, and for the Red Sox, the over sits at 4-0 in their past 4 games played at home, so expect the firepower to come out in this interleague rivalry. Keep it simple, take the over 10 points. Houston Astros vs. Chicago White Sox. The Houston Astros are 18-19 this season. They are currently in 3rd place in the American League West Division. They are 4 games out of 1st place Texas Rangers. After losing 3 straight games, the Astros have won back-to-back games entering Friday's game. In their latest game, the Astros defeated the Angels 5-4 on Wednesday, May 10. The win for the Astros clinched the series for Houston. Yordan Alvarez hit a solo home run to open the scoring in the game as he gave the Astros an early highlight in the victory. Christian Javier pitched 6 innings and allowed 2 earned runs in the win. He also struck out 11 batters in the victory. The White Sox are 13-26 and are currently in 4th place in the American League Central Division. Chicago is 8.5 games out of the division leader, Minnesota. Chicago has lost 3 of their last 4 games entering Friday night. Chicago is coming off of their worst series loss of the year, as the Kansas City Royals took 3 of 4 off of the White Sox. In their latest game, the White Sox lost 4-3 to the Royals on Thursday, May 11. The Royals hit a walk-off bunt to steal a win from the White Sox. Luis Robert Jr. hit a 2 RBI double to tie the game in the 8th inning before the Royals took the win in the bottom of the 9th. Mike Clevinger pitched 6 innings and allowed 3 earned runs and 3 hits in a no decision. The White Sox have truly been struggling, especially in their latest few games. The last place in the division, Kansas City Royals, took 3 of 4 games off of the White Sox. I would lean heavily on the Astros to take the win as Chicago's slump has been astonishing. The Astros have the 3rd best ERA this year in the league. Take Houston to cover. Good pitching and poor hitting will be the difference for the White Sox come Friday night. The total will lean the under because of Chicago's inability to score. The under is 5-1 in the Astros' last 6 games versus a right-handed starter. The under is 7-3-1 in the White Sox's last 11 when their opponent scores 5 runs or more in their previous game. Take the under on Friday. Kansas City Royals vs. Milwaukee Brewers. The Kansas City Royals have been struggling this season, currently holding the 2nd worst record in all of Major League Baseball. They have a -52 run differential, making them the 4th worst team in that category. However, there have been some recent positive signs for the Royals. They are currently on a 2-game winning streak and have won 4 of their last 5 games. This Friday, they have an opportunity to achieve a 3-game winning streak for the first time this season. Interestingly, the Royals have performed better on the road than at home. They hold a 6-10 record on the road compared to a dismal 6-17 record at home. Salvador Perez and Vinny Pasquantino have been the powerhouses for the team, as both players have hit 7 home runs each. Following closely is Bobby Witt Jr., who has contributed 6 home runs. Perez leads the team with 21 RBI, while Pasquantino boasts the team's best batting average of .290. Rowdy Tellez has been a standout player for the Brewers, leading the team with 10 home runs. He is tied with Willie Adames for the team lead in RBI, with both players contributing 23. On the pitching front, the Milwaukee staff has performed well, ranking 10th in the league with a 3.74 ERA. The Brewers' defense has been exceptional, leading all teams with a +25 defensive runs saved. Taking the mound for the Brewers on Friday is Corbin Burnes, who currently holds a 3.2 record and a 3.86 ERA. Last season, Burnes made 33 starts and finished with a solid 12-8 record and a 2.94 ERA. I think Kansas City is playing its best baseball of the season, so I'm going to ride them while they're hot to cover the run line. At first glance, I assumed Corbin Burnes would be the correct play against a last-place team. But Burnes is only 3-6 in his career in the month of May, and he's actually been worse at home than he has on the road in each of the past 3 seasons, including 2023. Burnes has a 5.28 ERA this year at home in 3 starts, and only one of his 3 wins has come at American Family Field. The Royals have recently put up big numbers against respectable starting pitchers such as Dylan Cease, Lance Lynn, and Tyler Wells. Their lineup has a nice mixture of veterans and young players, and it doesn't look like anyone is going to slow down Perez, Pasquantino, or Prado anytime soon. The Brewers are 2-8 over their last 10, while Kansas City is finally heating up. Give me the Royals plus 1.5 runs. Burnes has had some dominant seasons in his 6-year MLB career, but 2023 has not been one of them. His strikeouts are down, and his walks are up, which is one reason the over has hit in 5 of the 7 games Burnes has started this season. With just 32 Ks through 39.2 innings pitched, Burnes is averaging less than 1 strikeout per inning pitched for the first time since 2018, when he was a rookie. His KBB ratio is the worst of his career at 2.3. In fact, it is exactly half of his career ratio, which is 4.6. To make matters worse for Burnes, the Kansas City offense has 3 or 4 guys who have been on a tear over the past 2 weeks. With Witt Speed at the top of the order and several guys producing runs behind him, the Royals are suddenly starting to look like a very balanced team I wouldn't want to face as a pitcher. In regards to Milwaukee, I'm going to play the recent trend, which is that the over has hit in 5 of their 7 games overall. I'm siding with the over in this game.